Hello everyone. Okay, just waiting to allow all of the live to kick in. I know that there can be a slight delay on these things, so just going to give it a few moments for whoever's going to be joining us this afternoon to be coming in to join us. And if you're watching this on replay, do know, or at a later time, do know that whatever we do right now is also going to be hugely beneficial for you whatever time you watch this and whatever time you've got available to join along. So welcome, I'm Tara Palaki, kinesiologist and owner of Inner Sanctuary and founder of the Feminine Space. So I help women to find their flow in their fertility journeys and also in their business. And today is all about you. We're going to be looking over the next half an hour to look at you nourishing your body and honouring your needs. I know I've spoken to so many women, myself included, that these interesting times that we find ourselves in, this can be quite a challenge. And so this then can result in people feeling tired, a bit more anxious, a bit more worried, or even going into that place where they're beginning to beat themselves up, if this sounds familiar to you, beating themselves up that they should be doing more, or they should not be having hello my love, or that they shouldn't be having, the chocolate cake and they should be having apples. And so there can just become a lot of stuff at this particular time. And so today I wanted to dedicate a space where we really connect you in with nourishing your body and honouring your needs, whatever they are and whatever this means for you right now today. So let's get started. What are we going to be working with? So we're going to be working with the goal, I nourish my body and honour my needs. I want you to just take a moment and say that statement. Say it out loud. I nourish my body and I honour my needs. How does that feel? What starts to come up for you when you think of that statement? Because for me, when I'm nourishing my body, this can come from a variety of things. It might be downtime. It might be watching things that lift me up and inspire me rather than take energy from me. It might be that actually I get some good sleep, but I'm not taking my mobile to bed with me. I've got clear, distinct times when I'm engaging with screen time, but also when I come away from everything. It might be that I'm working with foods and I'm eating meals that I know give me energy rather than take energy away. Now, do you know what I mean by that? Sometimes I can have food that makes me feel very heavy and very lethargic afterwards, and other times I can have food that fills me up but I still feel really light. So that would be food that would nourish me. And honouring my body's needs. Sometimes I just need to rest. Sometimes I've got an abundance of energy, so I want to be going out and running or going to a HIIT class. But sometimes actually the best thing is for me to say no and to have some time alone and put on a podcast maybe, or wrap myself in a blanket and read a good book. Not for any other reason other than because I want to. Or to get out in the garden and to get mucky in amongst seeds and dirt or earth and stuff. Because that's what feels good for me. It feels nourishing. And, my body, even before I came on here, I went and sat outside for 5 minutes because I just needed some sunshine. So what is it for you? Brilliant. Awareness that I just need to be, as you've been doing too much recently. And I think a number of people have fallen into some of that trap, that whilst we're in lockdown, the idea is that we're not doing so much, we're not getting out and going so many places. But actually, all that's happened is that for a number of people, they've become busy, but in other ways. I know a number of you watching this have become, your children are at home all the time with you. which, can I just say, I think you are superheroes and legends for everything that you're doing. But overnight you became not just mum, maybe you're both parents to your kids, but teacher, best friend, peer support, counsellor, therapist, play activity coordinator, every single, lunchtime club that they may do. You are now providing everything for your little beings. Oh, being every parent, grandparent. And my goodness, there's no break from that either. It's not like then your little beings go off to school or to nursery and you can have some time to yourself. You're on a lot of the day. And so even if you don't have children, I know for me, I've started to, because I've got access to everything, I've started to go in and I'm signed up to various different courses or, meditations and starting to get to grips with some bits in my business. So my day is actually really, really full. However, what I would suggest is that this is now time for you to remember you, because you are the body and the being that goes through all of this with you. And if your cup's starting to get empty, if your battery, your vessel is starting to get empty, then what will happen is that you can start to become off balance, wobbly, and that can start leading into fatigue, that can start leading into anxiety, feeling overwhelmed. And so, we are still in really interesting times right now. So you will need to have a full cup. And so now we're going to get into some of the grips as to what might be emptying your cup, draining your cup, taking energy from you rather than giving it to you. Okay. So just taking a moment, placing one hand on your heart, both feet on the floor, and beginning to take a nice deep breath in and out. And in. And out. And in. And out. Good. And just beginning to filter out the outside world. Facebook, even though we're through it right now, but any demands on your time right now for the next 20 minutes, this is your space, that can wait. So I invite you to become present and in this moment, starting to feel the seat beneath you. Perhaps if your feet are on the floor, beginning to feel that connection with the earth, beginning to tune in to how you're being held right now. Becoming aware of perhaps anything that you can hear, my voice, bird song, just really becoming present in the moment as to what it is that your senses, your sound, what you can hear, perhaps what you can see. You might have your eyes open or you might be called to lower your gaze. So with this, just beginning to become aware, with not too much effort, but just becoming aware, tuning in to what it is that you can see. Become aware of perhaps something you might taste or even smell. Before coming on, I put on a little bit of essential oil. You might have some perfume or even just the shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer. Just beginning to tune into what it is that you are aware of right now, in this moment. Good. Okay. And this goal, I nourish my body and honour my needs. Just say that for a moment. What begins to come up for you? What thoughts are you beginning to become aware of entering your mind? Or any sensations in your body? So as I start to feel about, I nourish my body and honour my needs, about now as I begin to tune into that statement, as I come down, I can feel I'm aware of a lot of energy, and I'm finding it a little difficult to tune into this right now. But rest. So rest is the message that I'm starting to get, which I'm finding quite difficult. We're in a full moon today, so there's a lot of supercharged energy, but my body is feeling almost, the energy of my body is feeling like I'm spinning, like there's a lot going on, and so I don't have a very settled energy. I'm feeling very spinning, and with that then the sensations are feeling quite difficult to pinpoint. It feels more of an all over body sensation. How about you? Are you aware of anything starting to come up? And maybe the thoughts in terms of, with this, be really kind. If you found yourself reaching for certain foods, or you found yourself beginning to become a bit critical about what you're eating or how you're being or exercising or any of these sorts of things, I just ask you to go very gently with this. Be aware that perhaps you're becoming, that there's perhaps a critical voice there, but know that this isn't a time of judgment. This is a time to just become aware and say, okay, I see that you're there. So just taking a moment, working with the group and with the group's energy, beginning to start to find out what's the number one block or misalignment with this particular goal. So I'm shuffling something called chakra cards that were devised by a lady named Kerry Rowett from Australia, from Awaken Kinesiology. And I find these are great to start understanding what some of my blocks might be. So what's the group's number one block or misalignment to nourishing my body and honouring my needs? It's the number one block to honouring our bodies and nourishing our needs. Okay. So the card that's come up is suppressed emotions within the sacral chakra. So if you're finding yourself in particular drawn to food, if you're finding yourself in particular drawn to watching things that perhaps aren't giving you energy but taking more of it, so things like watching the news repeatedly, or watching programs that can, instead of lifting you up, actually afterwards you can feel like they took something from you, then I would suggest that at the moment there's some, this is suggesting that as a group there's stuff that we're trying to push down. And I want you to go very gently with this and just place a hand over your heart and your other hand over your womb area, just as we begin to talk with this. Get curious, very, very gently, but get curious. What could be some of the things that perhaps you don't want to see or feel or acknowledge right now? We're in the middle of a global pandemic, and that can leave a number of people feeling very out of control. And that's something that, as human beings, many of us can like to have a sense of control. So with these feelings out of control, it can then be wanting to do or reach for things that, you know, we have some control from, or helping to nurture ourselves from them, perhaps feeling worried or anxious, then looking for food to help provide some level of comfort, forgetting to eat. Again, getting so busy or caught up in stuff because our routines are out of sync. And so it becomes, if you're dependent upon a routine to anchor you into a daily practice of eating, then at the moment where the only routine is the sun coming up and the sun going down, that can then become quite challenging to remember. I don't have that problem. I can remember to eat all the time. But again, it's becoming aware of what your truth is in this. So as you just hold your hand over your heart area, just allowing yourself to be very gentle with yourself. And know that none of us have been given the roadmap on how to deal with everything we're experiencing right now. And so it's okay to have days and times where actually you might reach for things that are comforting. So then becomes a question of just very gently asking, where else might you get comfort from? How else might you help yourself remember to eat right now? What does eating mean to you? So for me, there feels like there's lots of heart issues within this. So just holding on to your heart area and the other area around your womb. And just allowing yourself to breathe. Breathe nice and deeply. So as you breathe in, allowing that breath to go down underneath your heart and out. And now taking another deep breath in, allow it to travel all the way down. So you can feel your lower abdomen rise, the hand on top of your womb, just gently beginning to rise or fall if you can get it down that far. And just allowing some movement. And perhaps after this session, suggest that you take some time to journal on anything that may have come up for you, sensations in your body, and what may need nurturing right now. Okay. So I'm aware of sensations that are coming up in the heart, a lot of heaviness around the heart area. So what I'm going to invite us to do, because this does feel like it's very emotional based, is first of all going to be using a flower essence for us all. So the flower essences are by a guy named Dr. Bach, and he created or observed that there were 39 flower essences that gave certain properties. And for this, you'll probably know one of them as Rescue Remedy. That's probably the most common one. But for today, we're going to be joining with a remedy called Olive. And if I remember correctly, this is all about exhaustion. Okay, so olive essence relieves extreme physical symptoms of exhaustion and weariness. Despite the seemingly physical character of this remedy, it is nevertheless connected to a definite state of soul's consciousness. Those needing this essence are usually over-identified with the physical body or the physical dimension. The healing crisis which they experience is actually a spiritual opening which prompts them to look beyond the purely physical for health and sustenance. For many people, olive can be their first spiritual opening, bringing the realization that the physical body is sustained by metaphysical forces. They learn that despite the fact that their physical forces are entirely spent, they can tap into another dimension of consciousness which gives renewal or restoration. Olive is helpful for many related but lesser states of transformation, anytime the physical body experiences utter fatigue and breakdown and the individual needs to reach a higher place for its revitalization. Olive helps to bring that awareness that the physical self is profoundly connected with higher states of soul spiritual consciousness. Okay, so just taking this for the group. And just curious, did any of that resonate for you? This is the idea that this isn't just about physically giving yourself fuel, but giving yourself nourishment and being able to tap into energy sources that are greater than yourself and your physical body. Okay. So this feels like about support right now and letting in other support. This hasn't all got to come from you. You know, as I was saying about, many of you are doing everything right now, whether it's everything in your business, whether it's everything for your family, it's okay to allow in support. It's okay to allow other energies to come in to be able to support and give you energy right now. So I want you to follow along. I'm going to do some EFT to help shift some of the resistance to support, energetic support right now. So you're going to just copy me in terms of these points that you're going to tap, and then I want you to repeat these statements as I say them. It's tapping on the outside of your wrists. Even though I am feeling fatigued and depleted, and even worse, like I've got to do everything myself, I deeply and completely love myself. Top of your forehead. Even though I want some help, I want some support, I just don't know how. And I'm worried in case it makes me weak or deficient in some way. So I feel like I've got to do everything myself. I deeply and completely love myself. And then to your third eye. Even though I'm feeling my body is so tired. And actually when I'm trying to do the right things, but somehow they just don't fully seem to fill me up at the moment. I deeply and completely love myself. And then to the side of your eyes. Even though I am beginning to understand that there may be other energies that I can tap into and that are available to support me, I just don't know how to connect with them right now. I deeply and completely love myself. And then underneath your eyes, even though I am aware that I can connect to another state of consciousness, I'm feeling disconnected or unsure how I can connect. I deeply and completely love myself. And then underneath your nose, even though I have got stuck in putting all these demands on my physical body, I deeply and completely love myself. And then on your chin, even though I'm feeling exhausted and weary, I am enough. I deeply and completely love myself. And then onto your collarbones, even though I know that I haven't got to do everything myself, know that I'm not the only one responsible for everything right now, I deeply and completely love myself. And then onto your armpit, even though I recognize that I need nourishment and that it is okay to honor my body's needs. Sometimes I find it difficult to do. I deeply and completely love myself. And onto your hands, even though I want to honor my body, her needs, and to nourish myself, I found it really difficult to do. And to really open up and receive. I deeply and completely love myself. Okay. And just beginning to shake that out actually. It feels like just to kind of start moving this through. Start letting this in. Okay, and now I just want you to come and hold these points just underneath your nose. They've come up. Now these are points for any past feelings of failure. This is not actual, but any perceived times when you've tried to do this and you've not been successful, or you feel anything like a failure, like you should be able to deal with all of this and you're not dealing with it as well as you'd hope to or would like to, or perhaps even feeling very overwhelmed. This point, just want you to hold very gently, is a great point for processing any of those stuck, stored emotions, and to clear these emotions, to let go of anything that you're seeing as anything as a past failure or memories from any previous times you've tried to, that you've come into this state of being exhausted, fatigued, or overwhelmed, or forgetting to nourish your body. Anything that might be coming up right now. And just letting go. Anything that feels like might be you perceive as a past failure, or where you've got quite hard on yourself. Perhaps something's not gone right in your day. Just let this go. Perhaps you're a bit frustrated that you're not where you think that you should be right now. Let that go. Perhaps you've had an argument or there's tensions in family. Let that go. Good. Wonderful. Good. That feels like that's been a nice little shift. Okay. So now starting to feel into, if you were feeling all of this sort of heaviness or this swirling energy, how are you feeling now? Start coming back into your body. What's showing up for you? How are you feeling? If you have been feeling so frustrated that you're not where you want to be, if you've been feeling this exhaustion and weariness, what is it that you'd want to be feeling instead? So I know for me there's something about really nice, just this gentle energy, but that it's consistent, not these peaks and troughs, but actually where I'm feeling right now is this steady flowing energy. How about you? What can you start to feel, connect with? And with this calmness, what I can start to feel in my body is a deeper sense of peace and self-acceptance. And the statement of, I've got this. What about you? If you're beginning to feel more calm, centered, how would that feel in your body? Where would you feel it? Oh, I feel like I can move my shoulders. Didn't realise I was even holding so much there, but yeah, I can move my shoulders now. And then just think into this for the rest of the day. How might you be able to provide this experience for yourself? Yeah, feeling more empowered to take control of my daily needs. I invite in healthy habits. And I feel sleepy now. Yeah. So I suggest that if you're feeling sleepy, there's been a big shift in energy. Honor that. Your body's talking to you. It's telling you what it needs. So now being in the sunshine might be a great way to go and honor a little afternoon nap. So yeah, go gentle with yourself. Bring in anything today. Know that it's within your power, even if it's one little thing that's going to help you to keep feeling this for yourself, and to invite in those ways where you are nourishing yourself, your body, and honouring your needs. Okay. And now just think about that goal. I am nourishing my body and honouring my needs. How does that feel? How do you feel? And you check back in with that statement. I feel a sense of possibility. I feel a sense of ease. Yeah, I feel a sense of, for me, what I'm going to do is go and have some lunch, disconnect from technology, and just sit and watch some birds. Beautiful. So whatever it is that you're going to take forward for today, I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. And if you have any comments or thoughts that came up either now or on the replay, or even any queries, do just pop them in the chat box, because I'm going to be keeping an eye out on them for the rest of today. In the meantime, wishing you a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. So much love. Take care. See you next week. Bye.